This is the 18 WJTS News. In tonight's news, fatality in Warwick County crash. Several Indiana counties facing burn ban. Will Reed and Sing for Food make a comeback. Kurt Guxell will be in with sports, and WJTS Informed continues. All this and more coming up next on 18 WJTS News. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Jenna Schaffer with the WJTS News. A Boonville woman is dead after a single vehicle crash in Warwick County. Warwick County Sheriff deputies responded to a crash on State Road 62 near Baker Road just after 2 p.m. Thursday. Deputies say 39-year-old Karen Ramirez was traveling westbound on State Road 62 when she crossed the eastbound lanes and left the roadway. After striking several parked cars in a used parking lot, the vehicle flipped. No other passengers were inside the vehicle. The cause of the crash is under investigation. Grandview residents and Finch Newton water customers on the Grandview site are no longer under a boil advisory. Officials lifted this advisory yesterday. There is now no need for residents to boil water before drinking or cooking. Several southern Indiana counties are under a burn ban due to abnormally dry conditions. This includes the counties of Spencer, Perry, Warwick, Crawford, Lawrence, and Jackson. Well, under this ban, campfires and other recreational fires are prohibited unless it is enclosed with a fire ring with a diameter of 23 inches by 6 inches high or higher. Any kind of open burning using conventional fuel like wood or combustible matter, burning of debris, and using burn barrels are also prohibited. Charcoal from permitted grills cannot be removed until the charcoal is thoroughly extinguished. All residents are asked to comply with these emergency measures. This burn ban will last until further notice. And with these bans in place, the Indiana Department of Homeland Security and the State Fire Marshal are urging Hoosiers to practice fire safety. Even if your county is not under a burn ban, Hoosiers should always remember to make sure a fire extinguisher or source of water is always available to put out a fire quickly before it gets out of hand. Check the forecast. Weather can change in a split second. A sudden gust of wind could cause burning debris to catch on fire. Build bonfires away from power lines, overhanging tree limbs, rotten stumps, shrubs, dry grass, and leaves. Build bonfires in areas with gravel or dirt at least 10 feet in all directions. And keep all flammable objects at least 15 feet away from and upwind of the burn site. The Indiana State Department of Agriculture also encourages farmers to take precautions. During dry conditions in harvest season, coupled with hot farm equipment, increase the risk for farm-related fires. ISDA Director Bruce Kettler urges farmers to not cut corners on their safety inspections and take extra precaution in the coming months. Will Reed and Sing for Food made a comeback last night after it was announced it was ending for good a few months ago. Hettinger Beverage hosted and was dubbed as Will Reed and Sing for Food Part 2 as the spirit of the original incarnation showed to be well and alive. Many crowd members gathered into an area outside of Hettinger Beverage to listen to Will Reed and Sing for Food alumni such as Debbie Sheeter, the Gatwoods, and the Hagedorn Family Band play songs and tell stories. Nancy Oddie, one of the many who helped make Will Reed and Sing for Food Part 2 a reality, says that after the founder of Will Reed and Sing for Food, Scott Salmon, decided to hang his hat on the project, she and others felt the need to keep the goodwill going.
Well, some of us never wanted it to leave. We understood that Scott, after 150 shows, $160,000, and giving to over 40 charities in 7 or 8 years, was tired and needed to move on with his life. But some of us never wanted it to end before it did end. And over the course of the summer, some of us talked and we're ready to get back and get it started again and work together to do it.
After an approval from Salmon, it was off to the races. Last night's comeback was to help raise money for the DuBois County Humane Society. It even featured a dog that was adopted from the society. Audie says that this incarnation of We'll Read and Sing for Food will be more laid back and relaxed than the original, but would include the same laughs and fun as it did before.
Part 2 is going to be a little bit more laid back. We're not going to have it as often, probably every 2 months. We're just going to ask the charities that we donate money to do most of the promotions. We'll do it on social media and, of course, ask you local media to help us promote it also. But it's just going to be a little bit more laid back, not as often. Then the musicians are going to choose which ones they can come to and not even try to come to all of them.
We'll Read and Sing for Food Part 2 raised almost $900 for the DuBois County Humane Society last night. Those who are wanting to see Scott Salmon read again, he will be at the Astra in Jasper hosting the 2019 DuBois County Making a Difference Award Show and will include Scott Salmon, Debbie Sheeter, and Kyle Leakin. This will take place on Thursday, October 10th at 7 p.m. Proceeds from this event will go to the Kimball Electronics 2019 grants as well as local charities. Over 100 sheriffs nationwide were invited to Washington, D.C. this week to talk with government officials, including President Trump, about border security. One of those invited was DuBois County Sheriff Tom Kleinhelter. Kleinhelter says that New Mexico, Texas, and Arizona aren't the only ones in the nation having issues with border security. The sheriff says although DuBois County has seen human trafficking problems, the biggest issues they are facing now are drugs from Mexico. Sheriff Kleinhelter is scheduled to return home sometime today. Two nationally recognized speakers are heading to Jasper High School to talk about the effects of addiction and recovery. Recovery advocate Tim Ryan and actress and model Jennifer Jimenez are making the journey to Jasper to talk about their stories of addiction. Ryan will share a story of opioid addiction, going to prison, and the loss of his son. Jimenez will tell her story of addiction, eating disorders, and recovery. Both have since dedicated their lives to saving others. Chief Probation Officer with DuBois County Probation, Jennifer Lampert, says that both Ryan and Jimenez both have unique stories to share from humble positions.
So I think the important thing to understand about this is that they understand it not from a textbook, they understand it from a life that they've lived. They were normal people. Jennifer Jimenez was a model. She came here from Argentina, I think, when she was 13. She has been in movies like Charlie's Angels, the movie Blow. She's been on The Young and Restless. She's been on several magazine covers and looked like she had life made. She looked like everything was great for her, but on the other side, she was struggling with addiction as well as eating disorders. And so I think it's important for somebody like Jennifer to come and speak with us because we all look up to people like her and we think, oh, life is great for them, they have money, they're beautiful, but addiction can affect everybody. And that's where it's important that we can see that there is always another side and that you're not a bad person when you have an addiction.
Both speakers have had opportunities to share their stories at the White House and various television programs. Throughout the next few weeks, Ryan will be traveling to all DuBois County schools to share his story. Along with this, Ryan will also be speaking with teens directly about struggles they could be having with substance abuse. DuBois County Substance Abuse Council Coordinator Jenna Beaker explains more.
So even though they're coming in and he had experience with opiates, he's talking about addiction in broader terms. And I think that will really resonate with a lot of our youth that are maybe trying substances for the first time. So it's really important for them to see not anybody is exempt from addiction. Obviously this guy had it made, right? We talk about some stereotypes of people thinking that drug users are lesser people, but that's not the case. It really doesn't discriminate at all.
Beaker says that she hopes that Tim Ryan's story will inspire hope for others.
We are hoping that Tim Ryan's story will inspire hope in people, like Jenny said, from dope to hope, puts it right there in the title. And we hope that it makes people feel not alone if they are struggling with substance use. Additionally, we really want those who are struggling to come forward. It's okay to ask for help. We want you to come and ask for help. That's what we do every day in our jobs, is try to help people live better lives, make better choices, and just overall be a happier, healthier community.
Lampert wants to thank DuBois County Community Foundation, DuBois County Cares, DuBois County Substance Abuse Council, DuBois County Community Corrections, DuBois County Probation, and others for helping put on this free event. The public event will be held at Jasper High School Gym at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, October 2nd. Stay tuned. Weather, sports, and inform are coming up next on 18 WJTS News.